King and His Parrot, A Tale of Fate and Madness. In the ancient kingdom of Malara, King Raghavan ruled with wisdom and strength. His kingdom was prosperous, and his people adored him. However, the one who captured the king's attention most was a mystical parrot that resided in his palace. The parrot was no ordinary bird. It was said to possess the gift of prophecy, foretelling the future with uncanny accuracy. The parrot was a gift from a wandering sage who warned the king to cherish the bird, for it was a messenger of destiny. At first, King Raghavan was skeptical of the parrot's abilities. But when the bird began predicting small events like the outcome of battles, the arrival of rain, or the birth of a noble child, the king grew to trust it deeply. The king's queen, Queen Lavanya, adored the parrot. She would spend hours listening to its melodic voice as it recited poems, shared ancient wisdom, and occasionally whispered cryptic messages about the future. Queen Lavanya believed the parrot brought peace to the palace, its presence calming even the most troubled minds. One day, as the parrot perched on the queen's shoulder, it spoke words that chilled her to the bone. "Beware, my queen," it said softly. "Darkness looms over the kingdom. Blood will be spilled, and the throne will be stained." Queen Lavanya rushed to her husband to share the parrot's warning, but King Raghavan dismissed it as nonsense. He had heard many prophecies from the bird, but none had ever suggested such doom. "It's just a bird," he told her. "We are strong, and no harm will come to us." But as days passed, the parrot's warnings grew more urgent. It would cry out at night, its voice filled with dread, "The king will fall. The king will fall." The court began to murmur in fear, and even the bravest warriors grew uneasy. The people of Malara, once awed by the parrot's foresight, now feared what it foretold. King Raghavan, burdened by the weight of the parrot's predictions and the unrest they caused, began to feel anger rising within him. "This cursed bird is sowing fear in my kingdom," he declared one evening in a fit of rage. "It is no longer a blessing but a curse." Queen Lavanya pleaded with him, tears in her eyes. "Please, my lord, do not harm the bird. It only speaks what it sees. We must heed its warnings." But the king was beyond reasoning. In a moment of fury, he grabbed the parrot from its perch and, despite the queen's desperate cries, he silenced it forever. The palace fell into a stunned silence, and Queen Lavanya wept uncontrollably, cradling the lifeless body of the bird she loved so dearly. In the days that followed, an eerie stillness settled over the kingdom. The once vibrant and joyous court felt empty, without the parrot songs. But worse still, the king began to change. The weight of his actions, combined with the lingering fear of the parrot's final prophecy, gnawed at his mind. King Raghavan started seeing shadows in every corner of the palace. He heard whispers in the night, echoes of the parrot's voice warning of his downfall. He became paranoid, believing that his enemies were plotting against him, that the parrot's curse had taken root in his soul. The queen watched in despair as her once noble husband descended into madness. He would spend hours in his chambers, talking to himself, his eyes wide with fear. He no longer trusted his closest advisors, nor did he trust her. The prophecy of his downfall consumed him. One fateful night, the prophecy came true. King Raghavan, in a moment of delirium, believed an assassin had entered his chambers. In his frenzy, he struck out wildly, only to realize too late that the shadow he fought was his own reflection. The guards found him the next morning, cold and lifeless.